Almost time. Almost time. I can't wait. Oh my God, what are you doing? I'm waiting for my eating window to open up. I do IMF. IMF? What's that? Oh, is it like intermediate meat fast? No. It's intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. Oh my God, what is that? It's where you eat whatever you want for 6 to 8 hours. And then after that, you fast. During the fast, your body gets rid of all the toxins that you ate. It even gets rid of fat. It gives you a clear mind, and you look fabulous afterwards doing it. It's all in the magic of the fast. Oh my God, I love internet fad diets that I know nothing about. Can I do it with you? Of course. When the clock hits 12, let's have this entire box of family-size honey bunches of oats with almonds. It's healthy because it has almonds in it. Yes, I love almonds. Oh my God, it's 12. Let's eat all of it. Woo! What's up, everybody? My name is Gilbert Church. I'm a high school strength and conditioning coach. I'm a PE teacher in Harlem, and today we're going to be talking about a little bit about intermittent fasting. We're going to talk about what it is, why people do it, my own experience with it, and whether or not it's something you should be incorporating into your own diet plans. Let's get right to it. So real quick, here's a brief explanation of what intermittent fasting is. Intermittent fasting is really, really simple. All it is you choose a 6, maybe 8-hour window of your day, so something like 10 a.m. to 6 o'clock, or maybe 12 to 8, or it could be 7 to 3. And during that time, you are consuming all the calories that you're going to have for that day in that window of time. Different IMF protocols do different time signatures. Some people say 6 hours is better. Some people say 8 hours is fine. There are even people crazy enough to try and get all of their calories in one day consumed in 4 hours. Whatever the method is, the basics stay the same, which is you are eating within a window of the day, and then the rest of the day you are fasting, meaning you're not consuming any calories during that time. You can have water. Depending on the people you're talking to, they say you can have caffeine or no caffeine. The idea behind this is you are giving your digestive tract a little bit of time to recover. So it's not consistently digesting food. Your blood can go to other places and help with different recovery processes. And there's a whole host of supposed and possibly real benefits behind it. Let's talk about those. So here are some possible benefits that come with intermittent fasting. Weight loss, reduces inflammation, lowers risk of type 2 diabetes, lowers blood pressure, LDL cholesterol, blood triglycerides, blood sugar levels, and a lot of people report a clear mind with more energy. Here is my main problem with all of these possible benefits. These are the same exact benefits listed on any website for just in general weight loss. And if you've watched this channel before, you know that weight loss is a product of calories in versus calories out. If you're losing weight, very simply, no questions asked, you are burning more calories than you are consuming. So when people report weight loss on intermittent fasting, is it because they're eating in this magic window and their digestive tract is magically recovering? Or is it because they cut out 2 meals that they usually had in the morning and they're not having those calories now, and therefore they report a loss in weight? Because guess what? They cut a bunch of calories out. Oh my God. So yes, are these studied and confirmed possible fantastic benefits of intermittent fasting? Yes, they have been studied. They have had control groups for that. And these are possible pluses to trying this out. On the flip side, if you put it right next to any study that has anyone on any kind of weight loss plan or any other diet plan, these are eerily similar results and feelings. Now, me being the psychopath that I am, I can measure my calories, I weigh and measure everything out. I decided to give intermittent fasting a shot about 6 months ago, and I was real curious how it would do in terms of the inflammation. I had a lot of injuries. I was wondering if this would help me deal with some pain. I'm going to talk about that personal experience right now. So last summer, I decided to give intermittent fasting a shot. I did it pretty hard for 3 months. I ate between the hours of 12 and 8. And I decided that I was going to hold all the calories that I have at the same level. I was just going to try and stuff myself a little bit more during that time frame. I also decided that I still wanted to continue to train hard, and my main goal and my main thought process behind trying intermittent fasting was this piece of reducing joint pain. I kept reading that intermittent fasting reduces inflammation and that it may be able to help me with some of the pain I had been dealing with while I was training. So that was my main goal. My main goal wasn't to lose weight. It wasn't to be clear-minded. It wasn't to lower risk of type 2 diabetes or any of that. It was simply, can I feel a little bit better when I'm moving around and training, and does this make a difference for my digestive tract? Are there hidden health benefits that I will feel on a personal level that make a difference in my life? I should also note that, again, I kept the calories the same, I kept my protein the same. I did this with almost all whole foods. I generally have a diet where I'm eating real food the whole time. If I did cheat, it was always typically on the weekends. And again, I kept it pretty much within that 12 to 8 hour window, where there's some variations. Of course, this is real life. That doesn't always happen perfectly. But I held it pretty solid throughout that time. And here are my thoughts. Meh. Hard meh. I did not lose weight. I mean, shocker, right? I'm telling you that I had the same amount of calories, I had the same amount of protein, right? That wasn't my goal in the first place. Did I experience clear-mindedness? Not really. Did I experience a reduction in any sort of joint pain? Again, not really. The only variable I changed was when I would be eating this food. As opposed to spreading it throughout the entire day, I said I was going to do it in this 8 hour window. Now, would a 6 hour window have made a bigger difference? Who knows? I didn't try it. Here's the one part that I did kind of like and enjoy. When you have 5 meals a day, a lot of your time is spent about thinking, well, when am I going to get this meal in? How am I going to make sure that works with my schedule? Am I prepared to do that? What was nice with intermittent fasting was I could skip breakfast and the second meal that I usually have in that time frame, which meant that, I just had that morning to do whatever I wanted. I didn't have to pause and scoop down a meal real quick. On the flip side, when I did have to eat, they were marathon eating sessions, right? Because again, I'm keeping the calories the same. I was probably around 3,500 calories, something like that during that time period. And those were beastly meals. And in the beginning, I was hungry for them, but as I started to get used to the process, they were just big meals that took a lot more time to consume. And while again, I enjoyed having that morning to myself where I didn't have to consistently think about those first 2 meals, the big meals at the end were tough. And especially at the end of the night when I still had, 1,500 calories to consume after working out, it was work. It was just sitting there eating it, making sure I would get those calories down. Because again, I still wanted to support my training and I knew I had to keep a caloric surplus during that time. So did I like not having to think about food in the morning? Sure. But all the other supposed benefits that come from this, in my own personal experience, I didn't really get to experience. And my goal of reducing joint pain didn't really happen. I still feel pretty much the same, and I had to dive into some PT stuff. And really what helped me deal with this was tracking out all my macros and calories and then going on a caloric deficit. And when I started losing weight, and again, I said I lost about 20 pounds about 4 months ago. I went from 205 to 180-ish, so 25 pounds. That's when a lot of my inflammation problems and joint pain started to go away, and I started to feel a lot better. So big asterisks from my end on trying out intermittent fasting. I just didn't think it made any sense versus just holding a simple calorie deficit. With that said, let's talk about whether or not you should give intermittent fasting a shot. So, should you do intermittent fasting? Well, what are you trying to accomplish? If you're trying to accomplish losing weight, which is usually what most people try intermittent fasting for in the first place, just understand that there's no difference between intermittent fasting and measuring out your stuff and holding a regular calorie deficit. In fact, I would say measuring out and knowing how many calories you consume is a far more effective way of understanding how to lose weight, as opposed to, oh, if I eat in this magic window of time, I lose weight. and then you can fall into the trap of eating whatever you want during that time. That does not work. However, if you're going into it with thoughts of, I want to lose weight, and I feel like this is a very convenient way for me to just cut a meal and then have a smaller window of time to eat my food, and that helps me reduce my calories, then maybe it's something you should try. Give it a shot. See if that's an effective way for you to regulate how many calories you consume. If you say, I only have 8 hours or 6 hours in a day to pull this off, and it makes you reduce the calories and it's an easy way for you to do it, and you feel like you don't have to measure that way, cool. But understand that that is the product of cutting calories, of going into a calorie deficit. There's no magic thing about intermittent fasting that suddenly makes you go, oh, I am magically healthy. The other thing that I'm gonna definitely point out here is, are you grabbing the low-hanging fruit? If you're going for mental clarity or reducing risk of type 2 diabetes, or trying to lower your blood cholesterol, getting triglycerides a little bit lower, or just feeling better in general, are you grabbing the low-hanging fruit? And you know what the low-hanging fruit is. Sleeping 8 hours a night, eating whole unprocessed foods, having good cooking habits, getting some form of exercise in during the week, preferably at least some weightlifting. If you're not doing those things, jumping on IMF and saying this is going to fix all my health problems is like putting a Band-Aid over a chasm. It does not work. IMF, in the context of already trying the low-hanging fruit, right? Sleeping, eating well, making sure you're getting some sort of trying in, then it may be something you want to explore. But if not, focus on the low-hanging fruit first. And then finally, measure. If you have a goal, make sure you know what that goal is. Make sure you're curious as to whether intermittent fasting is going to help you accomplish that goal, and then measure it. Where were you at before you started intermittent fasting, and where did you go after intermittent fasting? Did you feel better? Did you lose weight? Were you taking pictures during this time? Did you take track of how you mentally felt during this time? Kept a journal or something like that? You have to have some sort of measurement before you can determine whether or not intermittent fasting is a beneficial practice for you. With that said, know your why. Make sure you're doing the simple stuff right first. And then, if you really want to try intermittent fasting, have at it. And that's all, folks. If you made it to the end of the video, please drop a like. Please drop a subscribe. If you comment, I promise I will comment back. And until next time, I will see ya then.